Hey, it's Lovejoy Yoga Therapy with Michelle. Thanks for joining me for Tips on Tuesdays. This week I want to share something with you that is near and dear to my heart, and that's yoga for grief. You know, I've always loved the way yoga has given me strength and flexibility over the years, but it wasn't until 2012 that yoga became my lifeline. It was during that time that my mom, who was everything to me, she was my best friend, my soulmate, she was given 6 months left to live. I didn't know how I was going to get through those 6 months, let alone through the rest of my life, without her in it. It was during her final months that she also suggested to me to become certified in teaching yoga. Little did I know at that time how powerful the system of yoga would be to help me heal the deepest heartbreak of my life. There's something about the movement and the breath of yoga that helps us to move stagnant energy and release it. So if you've gone through heartbreak or grief before, you know there's many different ways that we get brokenhearted. It could be from the loss of a loved one. It could be from a breakup, a divorce, moving from a beloved home, losing a job, a cherished pet, a miscarriage, a traumatic event. There are a million ways that our hearts have been broken before. And if you've been through a broken heart, you know there are telltale signs that show up in our body. So like everything, grief is also energy. So it manifests itself physically in our bodies. You might know by those telltale signs when you feel that heavy pit that just sits in your stomach, or that empty, vacuous feeling in your heart, or that thick lump that sits in your throat when you're about to cry. Physiologically, the body responds. You might even notice your shoulders tend to round forward, as if in an effort to protect your heart from breaking even more. I know when I was going through my own grief that I had bouts of sciatica. I had really intense pain in my legs and in my hips. It seemed for no apparent reason, but I knew it was the grief sitting in me. So what I want to share with you today is a wonderful therapeutic yoga pose that is there's a chock full of benefits for it, and I'll list the benefits in the description below, but it really especially helps with a broken heart. And that's Supta Baddha Konasana, Reclined Bound Angle. So what you're going to need for this pose is, if you have props, you're going to need a bolster, a blanket, 2 blocks, or a second blanket instead of the blocks. Now don't worry if you don't have these props. I'm going to show you another way right after this of how you can use the very own pillows that you sleep with at night. So if you need to grab your pillows, you can go grab about 2 or 3 pillows off of your bed and then come back and join me. So I'm going to show you first with the props, and then I'll show you with the pillows. So to get the props ready, you're going to bring your bolster vertically across your mat and then place 1 blanket for your head, okay? Secondary, if you have the blocks, you're going to place the blocks 1 on either side of your mat, and the soles of the feet are going to come together, and the knees are going to rest onto that block. And if your hips are really tight, you can even prop the blocks up even higher so that your hips can relax a little bit more. Now, if you don't have blocks and you're using a secondary blanket, you're going to grab a blanket, roll it up, and place it on top of your feet, and then wrap it underneath your knees and let the knees open up and rest onto the blanket. Second important thing here is that you want to make sure that the small of your back is right against the bolster. You don't want to have a space back here and then lower back, because that's not going to support you enough. So make sure that that bolster is pulled right into your lower back. You can even hold onto it so it doesn't slide. Tuck your chin into your chest and lower yourself down, and let the head rest onto the blanket. Your palms are going to come face up, and relax the shoulders down away from the ears. So now you see how nice and open this pose is. You're going to focus for a moment on your breath. Notice how your breath feels as you breathe in and out through the nose if you can. And I'd like to emphasize that yoga for grief is not about running away or avoiding the pain. The only way through pain, the only way through grief is through it. So we come here to acknowledge our feelings. We come here to be present with what we're feeling, whether it's anger or sadness or hurt or resentment, whatever feelings, and that could be a roller coaster of emotions coming up for you. Allow them to come. If the tears come, allow them to fall. Allow yourself to be here in this space and be with the breath, and know that it's okay. So you're going to stay here at least 10 to 15 breaths. You can stay here as long as you like. This is completely restorative pose. There's nothing you need to do or adjust. Just allow yourself to be and rest in this moment. When you're ready to come out, you're going to take your hands on either side of your thighs and close your knees like a book. This helps to not strain your hips or your knees in any way. And then you roll to one side and rise up. So if you don't have these props, I'm going to show you the other way. We're just going to move these props to the side. And we're going to grab our pillows. So for your pillows, I've got 3 of them here. The reason why is if we're just using one pillow, I tend to find it's kind of like not enough of a heart opener. So I encourage you to grab 2 pillows, and the pillows that you're laying on with your back, make sure that they're firm, okay? You want some firmness. For the other pillow, this is a little bit softer, and that's going to be supporting my head. So as long as the one on your back is firm, that's going to help support your back enough. So you're going to swing your legs around. And again, come right up to the pillow. You can hang onto the pillow and hold it there. Bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees open up. And please either use blankets or pillows or even a stack of books, as long as they're even on either side, to help support your knees. I love using the blocks or something underneath the knees because that really helps you to support the body. And what we want to do is be able to relax completely in this pose. So from here, tucking your chin back into your chest, you lower yourself down into your pillows, rest your head, and just adjust as necessary. And palms will come facing up. And again, you're coming back to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And let yourself be here as long as you need to be. When you're ready to rise, again, close your knees like a book. Roll to one side, and just notice how you feel. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Did you try this pose out? How did it feel for you? If you're having a rough day, how did it feel to come into your breath? How did it feel to be there and acknowledge your feelings? To know that it's okay to feel what you're feeling right now. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I wish you all the best. Namaste.